everyone, it's Agnach here. Welcome to another video. On today's video I'm bringing another army that uses super archers, but this one uses also the super giants. But before that, as you can see here, we have a new skin. It's called the Hog Mountain, and it has some funky designs like the Hog Rider and the Baby Drag statues. It also has a fish market on the other side, and the mountains that I think are meant to resemble the Chinese Avatar mountains are on the western side of the base. Also, for people that didn't get it last year, now you can get the Queen skin and the new King skin as well. And I must say, unlike the Queen skin last year, visually I wasn't very impressed at the beginning with the King. However, let me show you what changed my mind. Now, look at that ability. The animation I think is sick. So that actually changed my mind. Visually it wasn't looking very nice, but that animation sells it for me. Well, that's the lunar package. Now let's go to the army. For the army you need 8 super giants, 10 super archers, 4 healers and a couple of witches. Spells you need 5 lightning, 2 quakes, or you can also bring 6 lightning and 1 quake, depending what you prefer. I prefer that combination. A rage, a jump, and in the CC you bring 2 yetis, a valk, a barb, a rage, and either a siege barracks or a blimp. You can also have hogs or valks in the siege barracks if that's what you want. Also for the blimp, if you want, you can bring a safe blimp, which is the one that has the sneaky goblins. You can get the town hall, but I usually use the siege barracks for funneling, so I'll show you some of my triples. So the first couple of the replays are from CWL and a few legend hits as well afterwards. So let's check the first one. So this was one of my CWL hits going against at SS of AFG. So I'm starting with the Wooden Walk at 12. I used the 2 Quake, 5 Lightning on the Scatter and the Expo, so that goes down. Now I put the witches with the king and the siege barracks at 3, just creating the other side of the funnel. I sent a giant there as well, as I saw that the Tesla farm started popping up, and that could move all of my giants and all my army to go off the base. Obviously, as you can see here with the jump, I wanted all my troops to jump into the center of the base. Now, because I'm bringing the 5 lightning and 2 quakes, I don't bring a poison. However, with the super archers and the queen, they can get rid of these CC nice and quick. And in the siege barracks on this occasion I brought hogs. Now that tank hall is down, the hogs were gonna be able to go around the base, gonna be able to get rid of that single inferno nice and quick. I'm also sending the royal champion with my hogs just so that she goes around the base with them, and the synergy between them is actually pretty good. And we've got the witches at the back just clearing the trash buildings. The super giants break through a wall. The queen did go into that little lane compartment, so she was able to bring the eagle down. And the royal champion, after she gets rid of the skellies and the archer tower, she's going to be able to get rid of the second scatter. The queen still has her ability, so I can use it here to get rid of that defending king. And yeah, now just have a look at the super archers and the super archer range. I found that with the super giants, they were actually pretty good. I do like the other army that I brought yesterday with the golem and the ice golem tanking, but the super giants also do the tanking and also help with breaking through the walls, so it's really good. I do find that they die, that a lot of the time the just super giants don't last the whole raid, but as you can see here, one of the super giants did. But they do open through the entire base, which is what I like about it. The super archers as well, they've got a pretty long range, so they don't really have to open a lot of the base, but it's a good thing to have. Now over here, the same thing. I'm starting with the Warden walk on one side, using the saps to get rid of some important buildings. Over here I think I got rid of the Inferno and an Expo, which is what I really wanted to get rid of. And on the other side we start with the witches, the siege barracks and the king, just to create the other side of the funnel. Now that I know that everything is going to be walking to the left, I put my super giants, the queen and the super archers behind all of the tanks, just to make sure that they don't die quickly. And we've got normal wall breakers, which we're gonna send here under rage, and with the warden ability they're gonna be able to break quite a few walls in there. And also the loons can pick up some of the black mines that were trying to kill all my healers there, but they didn't, as some of my healers stayed back. Only one of them did move forward, but she even survived. Now the single Inferno, even though there's a trillion troops there, the single Inferno always knows where my Royal Champion is. So my Royal Champion goes down. I did put the jump there in the center of the base, so now we can try getting rid of the Eagle. It's a pretty heavy back end here with the Scatters and the multi-Inferno, but we still have the Queen going around. They got rid of one of the Scatter, the Super Giants, and the Super Archers get rid of the other, and here is where you can see the synergy between these two troops. The Super Giants are going to be tanking the whole thing, and look at the range of these Super Archers. They are in this compartment, and they're going to be able to reach the AD. They're going to be able to reach the multi-Inferno as well. Like, they're not targeting the multi-Inferno, they're targeting the wall, but the arrows just keep going, and it's like 10 tiles that they keep going. They will hit whatever's in its path. So the multi-Inferno went down with them being so far away, and this was another triple for us. Now for my legend attacks, I've got this one, which is quite a popular base as well, and is the same concept. Start with the Warden on one side. I sap and quake some of the defenses there, which is Expo and Inferno. On this occasion I decided to use the blimp. I can blimp the Eagle and the Warden statue, or pretty much the entire compartment, and since there's no splash damage, I can just get rid of all of those buildings without any rage. So if I wanted to, I could use the rage with the Warden, or I could just keep the two rages and use them with my army. So now I put the line of giants, I put the king at 6 just to create the other side of the funnel. I send the super wall breakers to open the first wall there, so that my super giants do go in. They get stalled with the tornado trap, but that's fine. I did put a couple of archers at 6 o'clock as well, just to try to get rid of some of the defenses on that 6 o'clock compartment. As my super giants and super archers are moving through the base, I did put the jump there so that they keep moving in a clockwise formation. As the Queen is targeting the town hall, I decided to use the Warden ability, and I put my last rage in the center of the base just to help them get rid of the Scatter and the enemy Queen. As you can see, this attack does take quite a long time, so you need to be careful that you don't time fail. I've had a few time fails as well with this army, so just need to make sure that that doesn't happen. And things that you can do to improve that is obviously making sure that you do put the rages where they're meant to be going, where you're going to be helping the most, but also that Warden walk, don't take too long during the Warden walk. You just want to create a funnel with the Warden, and then you have to send the rest of your army. Whether you want to use the blimp or the siege barracks is totally up to you. I usually just think of it as if I can get really good value with my blimp, I'll send the blimp. Otherwise, most of the time I just use the siege barracks. So here we have another base in Legends. So I'm starting with my Warden around 4 o'clock, and I sap and quake the Inferno and the Scatter. That's why I also bring the 5 saps and 2 quakes, because I can get rid of the Scatter or an Expo with that combination. If I only brought the 5 saps, 1 quake, and I bring a poison, then I would only be able to get rid, in terms of like strong defenses, I would only be able to get rid of Infernos. So that's why I don't. On this occasion as well, as you can see, I did bring the blimp as well, and I used the rage on the blimp just to make sure that the temple went down. Basically, if you're coming in with a Yeti blimp without sneaky goblins, you do need to use the rage. It used to be that you didn't need to use the rage to bring the tank hole down, but I think probably even a year ago, in one of the updates, they nerfed that, and you definitely need a rage for the tank hole if you don't bring any sneaky goblins. Now, if you bring the sneaky goblins, if there's no splash damage or something that might hit your sneaky goblins on the town hall, then you don't need the rage. But if there's a lot of damage there, then you still need the rage for the town hall. so I think it's better to be safe than sorry, so that's why I use the rages. Now you can see here the giants just going through the walls, the super arch is just getting rid of the defenses and the buildings. And the good thing with the range is that it keeps them away from most of the defenses, like the cannons and the arches, the archer towers, and that gives enough time for the super giants to move forward and actually tank for them. So as you can see here, the super giants are going through the walls, going to the defenses, while the super archers are behind, just getting rid of everything else. And even though it looks like I don't have many troops left, if you count the super archers, I still have around 7 super archers left and a couple of super giants. So there was quite a fair bit left, and we only started with 12 super archers. So yeah, we only lost 5. And now finally we've got this other Legend League attack. On this occasion I thought that I could get the town hall with the warden, and I decided to tap in Quake and Expo and a scatter shot. So I use the rage for the warden just to make sure that the tank hole goes down. If you're just soloing the tank hole with the warden, you definitely need a rage to keep his health topped up. Then I put the siege barracks at 12 with the king, and on this occasion I'm not bringing the witches. This is another version of the army that I was using at the beginning, which was only super giants, super archers and the healers. But through trial and error, I found that that this army with witches seems to be better for me. So now we use warden ability. I set my RC for the AD just to make sure that the AD doesn't start hitting my healers. Everything is in the center of the base. The royal champion is going to be able to get rid of some more defenses down here, and the rest of the buildings are just trash, so all my troops are behind. We're going to be able to get rid of them without being hit by anything. The defending royal champ does target my royal champ, so she's going to go down, but that's alright. My queen is hitting the eagle goes down, and now my queen is in a perfect compartment, just getting rid of the royal champ. And now she's hitting the perfect wall to get out, be able to go for the couple of cannons, and the rest of the defenses there. Now, apart from the 3 o'clock area, the cannon at 6 is still alive, but as you can see, the archers hitting the elixir compartment just got rid of that cannon without even distracting the cannon line. The cannon didn't even know that the super archers were there, and they were able to get it down. That's the thing with super archers. If you hit through a high HP building, whatever is behind them, you can get rid of it so quickly. So as you can see, this is the other version of the army that I was using. You could try both. I do suggest using the witch version because it's better for the funneling and when you put the siege barracks down, but it's all up to you. But that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with more Clash. See ya.